Hey guys, I'm Elliot, this is Everything Elliot, and today we're gonna go food plot 101 on the Everything Elliot channel. Now, you guys can see I am in my food plot already. It's already planted. I'm from the future. This is the intro. Didn't have time to make one before I recorded the video. So, there's a couple things you need to do to have a perfect food plot at your house. Step one is going to be obviously have the land. Step two is going to be prepare the land. Clear trees, get that, brush it up, stuff like that. But once you have that open space and you're ready to make a food plot, the next step is actually going to be to work the earth. Now, I actually plowed and rototilled in one of my previous videos. If you haven't seen that, I'll put a link up top. If you have seen that, bear with me as I insert a couple clips of me plowing with my new 2-bottom plow on my Kubota L4701 and then hitting it with the rototiller. All right, now that we got that out of the way, you guys saw how I turned up the earth, got the dirt up top, got it nice and leveled off. The next thing that you want to do is take a soil sample. The easiest, wow, there's a lot of motorcycles driving by right now. Wow. I'm pretty far away from the road. They were really goosing it. But anywho, soil sample. I use Whitetail Institute's soil sample. It seems to be about the easiest thing for me. What I do is I go on their website, I print out the little sheet, I don't know, you just fill out your name and stuff like that. And then I walk around with a solo cup, one of those plastic party cups, and I just take a sample of the soil. And in this area, this is about a 1/4 acre, I took soil samples from about 15 different places. So just a couple crumbs, each one, walk around. I took it back to my house. It was a little wet when I took the sample, so I actually let it dry out in the sun, picked out any of the big stuff like twigs and stuff I might have grabbed, put it in a Ziploc bag, roll it up, and mail it on out to Whitetail Institute. What they do is they have the results back to you in about 3 days. They just send you an email. I mean, you can opt for snail mail if you want it, but I save myself another 3 days by getting email rather than USPS. Anywho, once you get that, that is going to tell you what your soil condition is. Now, there's two main portions of your soil condition that you need to be concerned about. That's going to be your pH level, and the second one is going to be the nutrients of your soil. The nice thing about Whitetail Institutes, if you use them, they will tell you how much of each material to put down to get your soil up to optimum growing ability, optimum growability. I don't know. It'll help you grow the best plants, I guess. Basically, my soil samples actually came back really good, which was surprising to me, and I'll put them up for you and we'll discuss them. So on the left side of the screen, you're going to see the nutrients in the soil. Now that is going to be the fertilizer, what we need to bring the nutrients up. You're going to see that phosphorus, potassium, calcium, and magnesium. Everything in there is in a somewhat acceptable range except potassium. So we're going to use fertilizer to bring those numbers up. And then to the right of that, you're going to see the pH level. The pH level of my soil is 5.8, and the desired level is going to be 6.5. We're going to use lime to bring that up. Now, just below that, I selected 2 different types of seeds because I didn't know what I was going to be using. And I ended up going with Imperial Beets and Greens. So in the bottom half of that left side of your screen, you're going to see on Imperial Beets and Greens, I'm going to need 2,500 pounds of lime per acre, 80 pounds of nitrogen, and 80 pounds of potash. My food plot is only a 1/4 acre, so we need to divide those numbers by 4. On the right-hand side of your screen, you're going to actually see what kind of fertilizer they suggest you put down. So you can see they have 3400 and 0060. 176 pounds per acre of 3400 and 200 pounds per acre of 0060. Considering my food plot is only a 1/4 acre, I just put down 50 pounds
of each of those fertilizers. And if you look at the bottom of that right-hand page, you'll see it says apply 2,500 pounds of lime per acre. Again, being only a quarter acre, divide that by 4. I put down about 700 pounds.
So what you need to do next is actually get the fertilizer and get the lime. The lime is going to raise your pH, and the fertilizer is what's going to give your ground the nutrients that it needs to be viable to grow. So if I weren't so pressed for time, about 2 months ago, I would have done the soil sample and I would have put the lime down and I would have, stirred it into the dirt and let that lime really raise the pH of the dirt. But since I was last second, we did everything on the same day. Lime, fertilizer, and seed. Thankfully, it poured the next 2 days. Right now, we're about 2 days after planting. That's where we are. It poured yesterday and the day before it poured. So I guess today's day 3. And as I look around, all the fertilizer and lime pellets are all melted into the earth. So we're on to a good start. Obviously, I don't have anything popping yet, but I wouldn't expect it to be. So we don't need to be concerned about that. Step 1, spread the lime. Step 2, spread the fertilizer. And finally, step 3, spread the seed. So after the seed is down, you need good soil to seed contact. You can do that a couple of different ways. They make call to packers. You can just do it by driving over it a bunch of times. But what I opted to do this year was actually use my lawn roller. Now, I made a homemade lawn roller a couple years ago. Just fill it with water, pull it behind the ATV. Once all the seed and fertilizer and lime was down, I just filled it up with water and came back here and rolled it a bunch. So after you get it rolled, you pretty much just need to leave it alone. If you have a water source and it's really dry where you are, you might want to try watering it, but most of the time you're going to be out in the middle of the woods. Fortunately for me, this used to be old farm pasture, and actually right over there to the left of my hunting blind in that big apple tree is actually a 4-foot wide dug well that's got water to about 6 inches below grade. So if I really wanted to, I could pull out my Van Powers Super Power Pro, which is basically just a battery operated, it's a solar generator kind of thing, dump a water pump into that well, and then hook up sprinkler systems out here. We might get into that. Like I said, it rained for the past 2 days, so I'm feeling good for about the next 5 to 7 days, and then we'll see where we get from there. So if you guys want to see updates on the food plot, if you want to see how things are going, you want to see if I end up having to water this thing, make sure you're subscribed down below. And if you have any questions about growing your own food plot, make sure you leave a comment below. There's probably going to be some stuff I missed. I have some stuff planned for future food plotting. You're not going to want to miss out. I appreciate you guys. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and I'll catch you on the next one.